Welcome back to Portland Today, getting healthy on a Wednesday. And this is about to get ugly because I, Rod Hill, I'm going to be defending gravy during this holiday season. Joining us is Dr. Kent Thornburg with the OHSU Knight Cardiovascular Institute. Good afternoon, doctor.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
You're talking, if I understand this correctly, a lot about using family history to determine if we are at so-called high risk for heart disease. Is that right?
That's right. Traditionally, we've just thought of things like smoking and sedentary lifestyle, high cholesterol and high blood pressure as things that are the main risk factors. But now we know that your family history is more important than we thought before.
And you've developed a tool to kind of help with this process.
That's right.
So explain the family tree to us.
So what we've done is taken the traditional risk factors and put those in a tool in addition to the ones that are related to your family history. So these are things like your mother's height, things like your birth weight, and things that are now known to be risk factors that we add to the risk factors that people had before.
Wow, interesting. Even birth rate.
That's right. Birth weight is
birth weight.
Yes, birth weight is actually just as powerful as many of the risk factors that we're used to. So very low birth weight or very high birth weight are predictors of heart disease.
Well, which way does it go? Give me a clue here.
Well, it goes both ways. So it's a U-shaped curve. So the risk goes up if you're a low birth weight, and it goes up if you have a high birth weight.
So how does the tool work? I think we're going to try to pull it up here so you can explain how people can do this.
Yeah, I'd be pleased to do that. Right. So if we move down then to where the tool begins, you can actually try it out.
And you just input information. It's hard to see from our vantage point here, but I see you can just click different boxes.
Yes,
and what type of stuff are we putting in?
Okay, so here you'll want to know if you're a male or female. That's a decision you'll have to make.
Yes, I've always wanted to know that myself.
Yes.
And then you're just going to go on to put a lot of health information in, I assume.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And then you will come to whether or not you had a low or high birth weight.
Okay.
And you could click those that will have risk factors associated will be the very low one. Yes, that's right.
And it will spit out some sort of a percentage of where I am on a risk chart?
At the end, it will tell you whether you have a mild or a moderate or a high risk for having heart disease later in your life.
And then what should we do with that information once we take that kind of quiz?
Yes, that's a great question. And the answer is you should go to a health professional. If you have a moderate risk or a high risk, you need to be followed.
Sure.
And some of these risks, we now know that people, especially women who have had preeclampsia or diabetes during their pregnancy, have an added risk that we didn't know about before, so we add that on the list.
But it's a good thing to do during the holiday season when families come together and you can say, hey, Mom, how much did I weigh? Or the family history is right there at the table.
Yeah, that's right.
So to speak, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a little ugly, perhaps, for our viewers watching at home. It's the holidays. For crying out loud, it's okay to have some gravy, isn't it, doctor? Just on Christmas Day, come on.
Yeah, well, what am I going to say to you about this? Do I have to defend this?
You got to keep the weatherman happy.
Right.
That's what I know.
No, the truth is that what matters most in your life is how you eat most of the time.
Okay.
So what you eat on Christmas Day is not going to matter very much in the long run, but what you eat regularly matters a lot. So if you eat a healthy diet most all the time, and by the way, the American Heart Association tells us that very few people do, less than 1% of the population they classify as eating a healthy diet.
Unhealthy. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the food culture we live in.
And where do people go to take that quiz, by the way?
Oh, yes. They go to our website, OHSU Knight Cardiovascular Institute, and it'll say Take Survey. You can just click on it.
Easy enough. Dr. Kent Thornburg, thank you for being here.